Hey guys, so I am attempting to film the Get Ready With Me again in here that I tried filming the other day, but the footage was bad because I was super washed out. Come to find out it was not the lighting in this room, it was the settings on my camera. So I figured it out and I think it's going to be a lot better today. So we're gonna go ahead and get the ball rolling. Okay, if my brows are a little red, it's because I just tweezed a few little sparse hairs, but I'm gonna start with the Laura Mercier Hydrating Foundation Primer. I'm almost out of this. I really like this. If you have normal to dry skin, you probably would too. It basically feels like a moisturizer, but I like that. My makeup goes on so much better when my face is nice and moisturized. Obviously, I apply my daily moisturizer and my daily eye cream first, but this adds an extra little shot of moisture, which I really like. And then I'm gonna go in with my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. This is in the shade Y325. I do a pump and a half of this. I never, here it is, my little Real Technique sponge. I never understand how, when I watch like makeup tutorials and Get Ready With Me's for a lot of big time beauty vloggers and stuff, how they apply like 4 pumps of foundation to their face. Like, I don't see how some people can do that, because I don't know if maybe I just have a small face, but oh my gosh, the thought of applying like that many layers, I would look like a clown. I would be like total cake face. But I'm not really self-tanned right now, so this is like the perfect color for me when I am my natural skin color. And then for concealer, I'm gonna go in with the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer. That's a long name. In the shade N1. Also going to apply that down the center of my face to highlight and blend that in. Both this foundation and concealer are a nice medium coverage. I like this concealer. It's not as full coverage as like the Tarte Shape Tape, but this is really nice if I want some coverage and highlighting done, but it feels really lightweight on the face. Next, I'm gonna do a little half bake, which I never bake, but one thing about this concealer that is kind of a con is that my mascara transfers just a little bit. So I add a little bit more powder. I'm using the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder, and I'm just taking it on my sponge, and I'm just going to add some underneath my eyes. And then I'm gonna use a brush to apply it to the rest of my face, like not my whole face, but just where the rest of the concealer is on my face. Still gonna let that sit, and I'm gonna apply the powder to the rest of my face. This is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro. This is probably the last time I'm gonna use this, because I've said this before, but whenever I just get that outer ring, I honestly throw my powders out, just because I don't like smashing my brushes into the pan just to get the last little bit. I really don't like to do that. So it's definitely time for a new foundation powder. So I'm probably honestly gonna go back and get the Benefit Hella Flawless powder, because it's my favorite. I'm gonna take a little brush and go ahead and dust off underneath my eyes. I only let it sit for like a minute. I do not let it sit for long at all. And then I just bring the extra up to my eyelids, because I did put concealer there. I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows. And for brows today, I'm using the Dip Brow by Anastasia in the shade Soft Brown. I'm gonna go ahead and do this off camera because I think brows are boring. Brows are done. So now we're gonna move on to bronzer. And today I'm using the Marc Jacobs Tantastic Coconut Bronzer. Yeah, Tantastic Coconut Bronzer. I've been using this a lot. And I've got powder on my chest. I've also talked about this quite a bit, but I haven't shown it like in action. And I need to give the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Contour Palette a rest, because I'm pretty sure you guys are tired of hearing about that. But this is the MAC 135. It's my favorite brush for bronzer. So I'm just gonna like bronze and contour with this. I do really like this bronzer. It took me a little while to like it. that's why I don't like do any sort of like first impression type videos, because sometimes it takes me using a product a few times to figure out like what kind of brush to use with it, like how to apply it. And sometimes you really need to like use a product a couple of times before you really get into like the good stuff, because I remember the first few times I used this bronzer, it took a while for me to like really build up the color and get it right. I don't know if it was because like the top layer was just pressed really, really hard and I wasn't getting a lot of color payoff. But now that I've gotten past that first layer, it's just a really, really pretty bronzer. And it's a nice neutral color. Like it's warm, but it's not like orangey. You get what I'm saying? And it's not like gray either. So it's a really nice neutral color that probably would suit a lot of different undertones. I'm gonna contour my nose with this as well, with the Real Techniques setting brush. Just go down the sides of my nose, and I always bring my contour up to my brow bone. On this side as well. And then somebody asked me what this stipple brush was in one of my like Instagram question thingies. It's the Pro Stippling Brush number 44 from Sephora. Sephora brand actually has some pretty good brushes. Some of them are a little expensive, but this bad boy has lasted me 4 years. I've had it for a very long time. It does shed a little bit, but any brush is gonna shed a little bit over time, you know? I'm gonna go back to my MAC 135 brush, and I'm gonna go over my bronzer with this Sunrise Waves bronzer from Becca. It just adds a little bit of a glow. I've really been enjoying layering these two bronzers. The result is just really nice and pretty. But I will say one thing about the Becca bronzer. I can tell that I'm gonna go through it very, very quickly, because the shade on the sides, which is opal, they have opal highlighter on the sides, is already pretty low. So I can really see myself going through this fairly quickly. Either that or just the opal on the sides, just there's not as much product in that area as in the center. But I really like this too. It's a really pretty, like, it's pretty on its own. It's pretty natural by itself, but I really like to layer it on top of other bronzers because it changes the tone a little bit and it adds like a nice glow. For blush, I'm using my tried and true favorite First Love blush. It is the best and it literally goes with anything. If I could only have one blush in my entire collection and I had to get rid of every other one, I would pick this one. And then I'm switching it up for highlighter today just because the Amrezy highlighter that I'm obsessed with from Anastasia was limited edition and you can't get it anymore. So I'm using Champagne Pop from Becca today because it's pretty similar. This one's just a little bit more peachy. So I haven't used Becca highlighter in a long time, but I mean, I feel like Becca is just the reigning champ when it comes to highlighters. They just really, really know what they're doing, don't they? I decided to zoom you guys in nice and close for the eyes because it's something different that I don't typically do. I decided to dabble in a few of the pretty colors from the Soft Glam palette from Anastasia. I typically stick with just like warm and neutral browns, but I've been playing with like the rosy and the dusty colors, and I've worn these types of colors before and I forgot how pretty they are on the eye. I don't know, I've always just been very neutral in my colors, but I've been playing with the pinks and I've loved how it turned out. So I'm gonna go ahead and play with this today. I'm gonna start with my E40 brush from Sigma. Sorry if I have the sniffles. My allergies have kind of been all over the place, but I'm gonna start with Orange Soda first. And I'm going to apply that as my transition shade, just all over, blend it up towards my brow. I feel so silly talking about what I'm doing because I am not like, I mean, I like to put my makeup on, but I'm not a pro. So I always kind of feel silly when I am explaining what I'm doing. And then I'm gonna take the same brush and go in with Dusty Rose, tap off the excess, and apply this in my crease as well, just not as high. And I always I try to use as little amount of brushes as possible. And if you haven't already been able to tell, I kind of am starting to build up this outer corner. Next, I'm gonna take my MAC 242 brush. It's my favorite brush to apply shimmer shadows with. And I'm gonna go into Rose Pink. I'm gonna take that on my brush, and then I'm gonna spray a little Fix Plus on it, just to like really help the color stand out. And I am going to apply this all over my lid. I really like this brush too for really like carving out that crease, and I get to place the color exactly where I want it, and I can make it like super seamless and defined. Even though I'm not doing like a cut crease, I can still like go all around the ball of my eye and make a nice little line in there and make sure that I'm getting my entire lid. I wanted to make sure I was still focused. I hope this thing stays in focus the whole time. I don't know why I've been so like not wanting to try to play with more color, because this pink is so pretty, but it's not like loud and in your face. Like it's still like a pretty neutral color. It's nothing crazy. So I just really, really love this palette. I think it's so stunning. Okay, and then to pop in the center of my lid, I've been taking this shade Fairy, which is a gold, and I'm just going to pop that right in the center so that I still have the pink on both sides, but this gold just looks really, really pretty in the center, and it's so like blinding. These shadows are so pigmented, especially with the Fix Plus. I don't always use Fix Plus either, only sometimes, but they pop with the Fix Plus. And then I'm gonna go back into Rose Pink and just kind of blend the sides where I applied Fairy. I don't want there to be any harsh lines right there, so I'm just gonna kind of blend the edges with a little bit of the pink. Take my finger too and go over the center. I'm gonna switch up my brushes, and I'm gonna go with the E35 from Sigma, and I am going to go into Rustic, and I'm gonna start deepening up the outer V and blend it into the crease. I just needed to add some darkness to this outer corner. I really love this Rustic shade. It's one of my favorite browns in the palette because it is more neutral. It's not too warm and it's not too cool. It's in that nice middle ground, because I feel like in a lot of palettes now, the browns are so warm, and I do like warm browns, but I also just really like to mix a lot of neutrals in there. The sun is going in and out, so my lighting may change a little bit, so I apologize. Okay, and I was just taking a brush and dusting off the excess. I have this little line that I'm gonna try to smooth out right under here. Okay, I am going to add a little bit more depth to my crease. So I am going to take just a little bit of Cypress Umber and apply it to the outer corner. I'm going to my life group tonight at church, and they're gonna be like, girl, we're here for dessert, coffee, and Jesus. Why are you so glam? Oh well. Then I'm gonna go back to my E40. I didn't put anything extra on here, and I'm just gonna go over the crease real quick. All right, let's work on the lower lash line. I'm not gonna go as dark on the lower lash line because I don't want it to be too dark. So I'm gonna take Dusty Rose and apply it. I hope you guys can see. Let me hold this one up. It's always hard to do my lower lash line on camera. Maybe on Dusty Rose first and connect it. And then I'm gonna go into Rustic, which is that medium neutral brown, and apply it just to the outer corner, or the outer half actually. It's not really the outer corner, it's more like the outer half. I'm gonna curl my lashes really quick and apply my eyeliner, but I'm gonna do that off camera because I am not talented enough to do it on camera, and I don't wanna screw up these eyes. So I'll be right back. Okay, liner's on. So we're gonna move on to mascara because you guys know I don't do falsies. So I'm gonna start with the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Primer. And then for regular mascara, I'm gonna go in with the Milk Makeup Kush mascara. I love how big and fluffy this wand is. Mascara is on and we're almost done. I'm going to add the Tarte Busy Gal Brow Gel to my brows. I'm in the shade medium brown. So I didn't catch it until I started editing, but I totally forgot to highlight my brow bone in my inner corner. Total rookie mistake. And this is almost all gone, and I'm trying to decide, because there's two brow gels. Okay, I'm kind of all over the place. There's two brow gels that I am curious about. One is the brow gel by Milk Makeup. The other one is by Glossier. I want to say that the Glossier one is called like the Boy Brow or something. I could be wrong. I've never tried anything from Glossier, but I've heard their brow products are pretty good. So if you have an opinion or have tried either one of those, let me know, because I'm gonna need to order a new brow gel very soon. Okay, let's move on to lips, and I am tag teaming both of these bad boys. They are the Kat Von D liquid lipsticks. I'm gonna start with the shade Ludwig. I've had Ludwig for forever, but it kind of just like sat in my makeup collection being unused. And I decided to pull it out one day, and I don't know why I never wore this. Like, it is such a pretty neutral, like beigey nude. It's so nice. And then the next color that I'm going to apply is Muneka. And I love this color for putting in the center of my lips and tapping it out to just bring a little bit of life to that center and makes my lips look a little bit fuller, and it just kind of transforms the color a little bit. I use this with multiple different lipsticks, and I just love the result that it gives. And last but not least, you gotta use a little MAC Fix Plus to just melt everything together and give me a nice little glow and take away some of that powderiness. All right, guys, this is the final result. I am loving this makeup look. I've been doing it so much lately. I love the pop of that pink color on the inner and outer corners of the eye with the pop of gold in the center. It's just like a really nice twist on a pretty neutral look, but just adds like a little bit something different. So I really enjoyed doing this video for you guys. If you want to see more get ready with me, just give this video a thumbs up so I know you liked it. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you don't miss out on any of my videos, and I will see you guys again very soon.